Sunday night, we planned on having Thanksgiving dinner for my side of the family, and we were all going to celebrate Billy's 25th birthday. Vicky was busy cooking dinner, getting the house ready, while we went down to Billy's storage unit because it's time to bring the Nova back to the shop. After the last couple of years of running the trucks and the Falcon, it's become clearly obvious to us that if we want to be able to compete at the highest level of small tire racing, we need a better chassis and a lot more horsepower. We've been planning ahead for this for a long time, and now it's time to get started. We waited quite a while on Billy's engine to get done, and now that it's here, he's itching to get started on this Nova, especially after he spent a week in Oklahoma City with Chief and Jackie. He's got all kinds of new tricks he's ready to try. So we loaded the Nova up, and we start heading home as Vicky's getting ready for dinner. We managed to make it back to the shop before any company showed up. We had just enough time to untie the car, roll it off the trailer, and get it put in the garage, but we needed to move the Falcon out first. So Billy fired the Falcon up, backed it out of the shop, and put it in the back of the barn for the time being. Billy's waited for this day for a long, long time. And it's finally here. We're finally going to get to set that all-aluminum 540 big block down in this car. While Billy and Kenny were working on putting the car in the garage, I went in to check on Vicky and see if she needed any help before any of the company showed up. But she had everything pretty much ready to go. Bless her heart, she worked so hard at making a nice dinner for everybody. We all sat down, had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner together, and then Billy blew out the candles on his birthday cake. After dinner, Billy went back home to get some rest, and then we were all back at it first thing this morning. We wanted to get that big block set down in the car, get it bolted in, and get the motor plate installed. Everything was going pretty good up to this point, but our day's about to take a turn for the worse. Billy put the fuel injectors in the intake and found out that the rails were mounted way too low. So, we need to slot the fuel rail stands to make them adjustable. So that's going to require a trip to the hardware store and visit old Mr. Homer. And I need to get some wood pellets for our wood stove down in the basement since it's getting so cold. Homer! I need Dremel bits. Give me some Dremel bits, Homer. Where are they at?
You are out of luck.
Out of luck?
Yes.
How am I out of luck?
Because I'm not on Facebook.
Let me see what you got there. I need something to waller out some aluminum. I don't see nothing there. It's going to waller out any aluminum, Homer. Shit the bed. Uh-oh. Is that from about 1920? Oh, them little. Eventually, old Homer found me some Dremel bits that I could use to fix this intake manifold, but not without giving me a pretty hard time, as usual. Oh, Homer, you're full of bananas. Tell him. Isn't he full of bananas?
No, I ain't. I don't eat bananas.
It's raining outside today.
I have somewhere.
Not here.
Not here.
Now, hang on here a minute, Homer. Are you licensed to operate that thing? Are you sure?
I can't be sure if my name's Homer.
All right, be careful. Holy crap, you're going to tip it. Watch out, you're going to tip it over. Now, don't be reckless. Don't scratch my paint.
I won't.
You got another foot. Come on up. Oh, God, you hit my truck. All right, that's good. It is my truck. I own it. That's good, Homer. Set her down. Don't scratch my truck. Oh, you can go a little further, I guess. Oh. Oh, my goodness. That's good. Hell, that's...
There you go, Henry.
All right. You gonna help me tie this down? No, I won't upset it. I never tie them down. Well, come out here and help me tie it down then. The hardware store there in Pataskla, owned by Dave and Doug Beeson, was where I got my first real job. And I worked with Homer every single day I was there. And every single day, Homer would just tease the shit out of me, and I'd try my best to dish it right back. 30-some years later, we're still doing the same thing. Although I don't work there anymore, Homer's never left. Anyway, I brought my wood pellets home, stuck them in the shed out back, and went in to check on the kids. While I was gone, Billy and Rob had been working on putting new struts on the front of the Falcon. We found out that the old struts were worn completely out. Terrible. So they put the new struts on, set the car down on some scales, checked it all out, and we were going to have it aligned, but Billy said, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So he went ahead and took it up the road for a test drive just to see how it drives. If it needs aligned, we'll take it to Lucor first thing in the morning. Huh?
It drives perfectly fine.
Does it really? Perfect. Good job, Uncle Rob.
Welcome, sir.
Good job. That saves us a trip to Lucor tomorrow and some expense there.
I gotta go to Bridgeport tomorrow.
You do? What for?
I gotta take tires over there for Matt's car.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta go to storage and get tires and take them to Bridgeport tomorrow.
I got you. I got bad news.
What?
The block's cracked in your Suburban.
I had this bad feeling that it was going to be something more than what we thought.
It's definitely something more than what we thought.
So now what?
I called Mark at A1 and he said, can't find them anywhere. The only one I can find is in stock at Jegs at the warehouse. Brand new GM crate motor, 100,000 mile warranty, or 3-year 36 or 3-year 100, I don't know. It's got a warranty, that's all I can tell you, which is more than what we got now. But I mean, we knew it needed an engine.
So how much is this engine?
I don't want to talk about that part.
It's probably more than what we paid for the Suburban.
It actually is. So,
But
what?
our Suburban is like,
Oh, it's mint.
like.
Well, as long as I keep the kids away from it.
No, I mean.
Hey, is that guy bringing us a tailgate?
Yeah. The guy who gave us a torque wrench, that same guy,
Really?
messaged in my messenger.
Oh my gosh.
And he says, hey, I have a white tailgate.
All right, so.
He said there was a price.
Uh-oh.
4 cookies.
Oh, that's a deal.
So, yeah, that's a deal.
So, me and Billy's going tomorrow. We got to go clear to freaking Delaware, Ohio, and pick up a crate motor and take it to Uncle Bucko up at the farm. And he's going to put a crate motor in it.
Wait, wouldn't you guys rather do that here in our shop?
No, because our shop is tied up with race car stuff. It is what it is. And I got to put a new distributor in it because your distributor's wore out. That's why it was pinging and rattling and making all that racket when we put 87 octane gas in it. So Jeremy's going to put a new distributor in it, new crate motor. It should be good to go.
Should. Keyword. Should. Guess what?
What?
You ready for Thanksgiving round 2?
Hell yes, that's the best news I've had all day.
So I've reheated the gravy, the noodles,
Oh.
the turkey, all the stuff.
Big Rob, you eating with us? Ooh, you got enough for Big Rob and me?
I have plenty.
All right, let's go ahead and eat. That's the best news I've had all day. Come on, Scrappers. What is it?
Allison's been waiting for you guys to sign this stuff. I did my part. Now you and Billy and Tom have to do yours.
All right, I'll do that after dinner. Calm down, you little hyena. God. So me and Big Rob and Billy all went in the house, sat down, had dinner together. Well, me and Rob did. Billy fell asleep on the toilet upstairs taking a crap or something. I don't know what happened to him, but me and Rob had a really good dinner, and it was time to head back out to the shop. All right, guys, so we're back out here in the shop. Me and Uncle Rob's over here working on the Nova. He's just about got the fuel rails and everything finished up on the big block and Billy's Nova over there. Today, oh my goodness, today has not been a good day. They started out with coming outside to see Cousin Eddie's motorhome out of propane. So I just filled the thing up, I took it down, gassed it up to keep the generator running. And I didn't realize that the propane tank was empty. So after I got the generator up and running, then it ran out of propane. So I drove Cousin Eddie's motorhome down to Flying J this morning. Went down there to put propane in it. And I don't know what their situation is at Flying J. One day they can fill propane and the next day they can't. Today was the day they can't. So I had to go over to RCD Sales over in Etna. And luckily they were nice enough to come out and fill the propane tank. So I got the heat back on in Cousin Eddie's motorhome. Bad news is our trailer is sitting out here with an electric heater in it, and I told the kids, please don't unplug the blue cord that goes out to the trailer. That's got our heater on it. Guess what the kids did last night? They unplugged the heater. So I go out this morning and our trailer's froze, the water's frozen in it. I was frustrated, to say the least. So I got our trailer thawed out. And then I get a call from my brother. Bad news. You remember we thought the Suburban intake manifold gaskets were leaking? No. I wish it was the intake manifold gaskets that were leaking, but it wasn't. We bought that Suburban from a guy down in Tennessee. It's rust-free. It's a really nice Suburban. We got a really good price on it. Unfortunately, it wasn't disclosed to us that someone had let that engine freeze and crack years ago. It's got a rubber freeze-out plug on one side of the block, and you can clearly see the block has cracked previously. The block's actually cracked in two different places. So we didn't realize it, but when we bought it, I realized that it had water in it, not antifreeze. And so we put antifreeze in it. We've run it for, I think, 2 years. And unfortunately, the whatever they must have had in the block to seal that crack finally let go, and the antifreeze starts gushing out of this thing. Now, luckily, we went all the way to North Carolina and back with it leaking antifreeze, and we made it back. But so we have to put another engine in the Suburban this week. So the problem is we're leaving for North Carolina Thursday. So that doesn't leave me any time to find another block and machine and rebuild and all that. So we're looking for a crate engine, right? So I call A1, I call Mark down there, none available. Can't find a reman engine anywhere. So I called Jegs. I call Uncle Terry in there at Jegs. Lo and behold, they have one, count it, one single Vortec 350 available at the warehouse in Delaware. The only one. There's 8 of them on back order, and it's the only one left. There's no remans, there's no nothing. The only thing they've got left, the only thing I can find anywhere new, is a brand new GM crate motor up at Jegs. So tomorrow morning, Billy and I are headed to Jegs to pick up a new distributor for it, because the distributor gear was wore out. I think the entire distributor's actually wore out. So we're going to stop at the 11th Avenue store, pick up a distributor, pay for the crate motor, run all the way to Delaware, pick up the crate motor, and then take it up to the farm. And my brother is going to try and get that crate motor installed in the Suburban so that we can leave Thursday for Dig or Die. Wish us luck. If that doesn't work out, we'll have to take the dually, but I really don't want to have to take the dually. The dually needs front tires on it, and it needs the alignment checked on the front end. I've been meaning to get that done, and ever since we bought that Dodge, I just kind of let the dually slide a little bit. Wasn't really concerned about it, but the old dually may have to come out of retirement if my brother can't get the Suburban fixed for this weekend. So that's a bummer, but I'm sure there's people out there that's got way worse problems than we've got, right? So it is what it is. We'll get something done. We're going to be at Dig or Die with both the Falcon and the S10, one way or the other. So that's going to about do it for tonight, guys. I know some of you mentioned in the video, I seen some of the comments wondering why we don't just plug Cousin Eddie's motorhome in. And the reason is we're doing good to keep the electric on here without blowing fuses as it is. We've got to do some rewiring here in the shop because we got a little too much stuff on one circuit here. And the funny story, Billy was out here the other night running the plasma cutter in the garage and got the air compressor running, of course, and Vicky's got the stove going in there with turkey in there, and then the stove top's all lit up, so the meter's running, right? Well, my brother and his kids and everybody starts walking in the back door, and as soon as they touch the door handle, bzz, we blew one of the 60 amp fuses downstairs in the basement. So the house is about half dark, all the lights are about half lit, and Billy's out here complaining that the garage is dark, and we've got family walking in the back door, and I'm scurrying around trying to find a flashlight and find my multimeter and find the fuses. And so that was kind of a fiasco. But basically, long story short, we need to have some electrical work done here at the shop. The shop really needs to have its own service. It's run off the house service out of the basement, and the house is old as dirt, and the wiring is atrocious. You don't even want to see that. I don't even want to talk about that. So eventually we need to get that taken care of. But that's why we don't have Cousin Eddie's motorhome plugged in. That's why it's sitting out there running on its own. I can barely keep my trailer from freezing out there, and that's if the kids don't unplug the cord. So that's gonna about do it for tonight, guys. I'm gonna head in there, finish up this video, get it uploaded, and I guess tomorrow, trip to Jegs and a trip up to the farm to see my brother. I hope to God he can get that crate motor put in before Thursday morning, and hopefully there's no more problems. You know how that goes with exhaust manifolds and everything else, but God, I hope it turns out okay. Pray for us. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.